Thanks to these drawings, I got into my dream animation schools in France. Hi, I'm Demre, and today I will be showing you my art portfolio that ARTFX and ESMA juries kinda liked, so you can get a solid idea on what to do for yours. Trust me, when I was preparing, I watched dozens of these kinds of videos, and here I am, about to start as an ESMA student this fall. So you know you're at the right place. Just watch me and take your notes. First off, I want to say the first tip of this video. The original websites of the schools are not just for advertising the school. It's also a full guidance for students like us that wants to go to this school and wants to apply but don't know how to, don't know what to put in their portfolio. They are literally telling everything in their website. This might be one of the most important tips of this video. I wanted to mention it on the first place because you will be seeing a lot of traditional work in my portfolio. It is because that was what my school wanted from me, what ESMA and ARTFX wanted from me. I actually emailed them so I can get answers. Don't be afraid of emailing schools. They want to see different talents, different faces, so they will be really helpful and they guide me into the whole process. They wanted me to prove my traditional art skills, and that is why the portfolio may not be like what you could think it is. There is a difference in every single school. That's why I suggested you to email the schools and dig up their websites, because every school may want something different. Like, I'm saying these, but maybe your school can tell you we want to see digital work. So ask them. Both schools prioritize the traditional and academic arts foundation the most, but they both would like to see if you have any effects projects, modeling, animation, those kinds of things. So don't be afraid to showcase your best work, but keep your eye on the main focus of the school that you will be applying for. Okay, I made myself an iced latte and now we're looking at my portfolio. You can see the starting page. This is, I think, called a splash page, where you have your full name, you have your program that you're applying for, the year, and your contact info, which is like your mail address and your phone number. And then I think it's a good idea to fill that first page with drawing or like a project too, because why would you not use the space you have? Like, imagine if this first page was just the title and the texts. It would be so boring for like an art portfolio. I will suggest it to be your strongest piece in the portfolio. Your first and your last pages should be the best, absolute, like, masterpiece artworks you have, because of the famous method called sandwich method, which smashing your best pieces as if you're making a sandwich with bread, so it can leave the most mark in the jury. All your works should be really good and really skilled, but the first and last, so important. So I used this one drawing. It was our homework to choose a painting and make a reproduction of that with our graphite pencils, and I chose this project because of how expressive every face are. Like, look at the cat, look at the people. It's filled with so much emotions and so many things, like the figures, their clothing, the environment. This type of project is not creative at all when you look at it, so it may not be that suitable for an animation portfolio normally, but this showcases so much of my traditional drawing skill that I needed to put it. I thought this would be like an important, strong start, and it really was. Also, what you will see throughout the whole portfolio, and you can see it here, I put title for each work, the information about them, like the year I finished it, how big the scale of the paper or the canvas is, and also if it has a name. I mentioned that it's a reproduction of a artwork. This is like a master study. I really recommend you to master study a lot when you're practicing. The juries told me, wow, like, you prepared the portfolio really detailed. This is so good. Like, we can see every information there. And I thought everyone was doing their portfolios like that. Like, this was one of the main things to do a portfolio. Turns out it wasn't, but this got compliments, so do it. Don't put a whole paragraph, but put a little text. And moving on to the second page, we have some more traditional, detailed, realistic drawings. Two of them made to toned paper. And I think those types of papers are really important. This shows variety, this shows you're trying out different things. You can see those are all like sculptures. I think it's really important to study sculptures because first, they are models that are not moving at all. Plus, and you can see the anatomy, you can see the clothing. There is so much that can improve you, and because of their like mostly white from the material they are used, or like beige, you can see the lights, the shadows, the everything so perfectly. This is really good practice. And we came to the models that do move but doesn't for you, the live models. Of course, because I was in art school, we would sit in front of each other, one day me, one day other friend, and we would draw each other. This is like our regular exercise. But if you're not going to an art school, you can find courses like that, a live model course. You can always find references from internet, and yes, you should do it, but sometimes you just need to know to draw what's in front of you. This is a really good eye practice for you because the model is just there. It is just there, and your eyes are the best cameras in the world. If you're not able to make a person sit in front of you for 1 or 2 hours to make pieces like that, go outside and sketch people. Always find a way to improve your eye, even if it's meant to go to places to sketch the place, or like some objects, like compositions with multiple objects. You should go further than just picture reference. They want to see observational drawings, life drawings. So these were my life models that I put on. And you can see in the girl that is like laying, I also draw the details in the background. I added a little background so it doesn't just seem like she's floating up in the air. This adds up to the composition, this adds up to the amount of details in the work. Right now, it is not just a live model drawing, it is also a drawing within the place the model was in. So this adds up more life to the work. Always more details to the foreground things and less details to the background things, so you can add depth into the work. If you're like a artist for a while, you probably know this, but I just said it for beginner artists to use. And here there is some different observational drawings. This time they're objects. Objects are important because one, it is literally the first thing that you do in the art courses before you move on to the people. You draw multiple objects. You are showing your ability to differentiate the different materials like cloth drape and the chair. I think you can get a Sanjin colored pencil and use it to do monochrome drawings like that. It is important to show the skill you have for different art mediums and traditional, like colored pencil, graphite pencil. You have one with a fine liner and you will see other ones with fine liner. You will see my paintings in a moment. So I showed like everything I'm able to do. I told them like, yeah, here is everything I do. Don't use a portfolio with only filled with graphite pencil studies. They want to see more. I don't think I'm the best at drawing clothes. It got liked, it got accepted, so it's fine, but I will try to improve it. And here it is, my least favorite topic in art foundations, perspective and drawing up indoor plays. I hate it so much. It's hard. Its perspective is, I think it's harder than anatomy or anything else. But with practice, you are learning stuff, and you can see that I didn't do much of perspective because I hate it. The big one that you're seeing is literally my room. I did it from the angle of my desk, and it was observational again. It was right in front of me, and I wanted this to be so detailed so they won't focus on the perspective. So like you're not even seeing the room's like corner so much, but you're seeing every single book in there. You're seeing the mirrors glance and everything. But those are like little hacks if you don't want them to focus on your bad perspective skills just put so much detail. But I think this is a good study because this again shows my light and shadow knowledge, my perspective knowledge, even though it's like it has its mistakes. It's a flawed drawing. This got complimented because of the amount of detail in this. And the other one is done with really rush because I realized there's not much of a perspective practice, and this is a topic they really care about because you're gonna do animation. You should know to put your characters in a place and an environment. I made this on the day that I was gonna go and scan all those projects so I can move it to a digital environment. It is not my best work. I tried to make something like colorful to add color to the perspective practices page. I made like a cozy cafe environment with reference, of course. And just because I didn't want to do the outside that you normally see from the window in the photo, I just added the lyrics I heard in my earphones at that moment. And they asked me like, oh, what is this sentence mean? And I said, oh, it's from my favorite song. I didn't lie, of course. It is from one of my favorite songs. It's just that out of laziness, you know, but it looks interesting. It's done with colored pencils, and the page below that made with ballpoint pens. It looks so chaotic, it looks so complicated because it is a perspective thing, and I did it with a no turning back type of medium again. I really hate perspective. I don't want to talk about this. Like, do your practices for perspective so end up with better place and environment pages. And here we are in the painting page because it is a different art medium. We have acrylic, we have oil paint. Those three are my first three paintings like ever. Like the one that you see, the Rembrandt autoportrait reproduction, is my first acrylic paint ever that I did on my school. And it was hard. It was a really, really hard job to do because acrylic dries so fast if you ever tried it. And I suggest you to try acrylics and oil paint. They're a really good medium. They're famous for a reason. If you're not a quick artist, it is double hard time with acrylics. But I got my help from my teachers. I practice it. But we end up with a good looking thing, you know. At the end of the day, this is the second and the last reproduction of this portfolio because, as I said, this is not creative at all. And the one that is in the middle is my biggest piece here, I guess. It says commissioned painting because it was. It is from one of my best friend's family. They are hanging it in their house in their living room right now. They found this photo and they told me like, can you paint this? And I did, and this is like the most fun I had in a painting because it wasn't for school, it was for like my dear friend and their family, and I really had fun making this. The kids are like so cute and they're like animals. And the third one is me, autoportrait. It's in my wall. It was a school project. I paint myself like a princess, someone else painted them as a cowboy or like some things like that. It is my first oil painting also. And oil paintings dry so slow. So they're hard mediums and they have their own difficulties. Some people like oil paint, some people like acrylic paint. This is a war between artists. And here we are at your favorite part, digital studies. Digital is a medium that I am getting used to like this year, because before that it was just like I wanted an iPad, I wanted an Apple Pencil, I will make so many good digital drawings with this, but I just stuck. I felt like I need to relearn how to draw just for digital right now because it didn't felt as same as the paper or the canvas. It was just something complete different to me that I felt like I need to relearn how to draw all of a sudden. For some people that like started with digital, it is easier, but for me this is harder than traditional. I wanted to take some references from Pinterest for portraits, put them aside and do like a little exaggerated version of them, not too much. You can see some of them are just like the same in the photo and some of them are like a bit off, a bit more different. I think I could have exaggerated the caricatureness in there. I think this is good to explore and find out what is your style and how do you make exaggerations and caricaturistic portraits. And here we have my imaginative portraits. This is a really good practice that I can recommend you to try it out. At the start it was just like random shapes that looks like stains, and then I tried and see if I am able to fill out this weird shape with a face, with a character. This is one of my first digital works that I actually liked and enjoyed doing. And it is imaginative. I didn't use any references, just try out and see if I have like a style and try to see if I can fill it out with my whole imagination. And I could have exaggerated the mimics more. I could have made like such more dramatic expressions and like emotions with them. But that's what I saw with the shapes. Maybe you could have seen something much different. And I think this is one of the first drawings that kind of the starting point of my personal style that I haven't fully like discovered yet. There, like the blue one that you see, I was just so confused with its shape because you know that the thing in the nose, the thing here, I was confused on what to do with this, and I just decided, what if I make the face angry? And the reason of it's angry is because someone threw socks at them. So like you have little stories with them also, and you have little different expressions. This is fun to do. Do this exercise, do this practice. Most research needed project in this ever, because I wanted to show my interest in pre-production, in like filmmaking, because if you're going for an animation school, you will probably choose a career path in animation, and animation is not just about drawing cute characters and cute environments. It is also about steps like this into filmmaking, storyboarding, and script writing and everything. Of course, you're not gonna do a whole movie alone ever, but I think it is important to know what it takes to make a whole movie, like every person's role in filmmaking. Maybe you will be learning about storyboarding and you will be interested in storyboard. I thought like maybe I can make a storyboard of a short film idea I had for a while. I should learn about different camera angles, and then I learned them. I learned the full shot, I learned the Dutch angle. There is still so much to learn. This dancer is a cabaret dancer, and it takes in 1920s, the years where this like showgirl aesthetic was an actual thing that was happening. She's going to the stage, but she having this backstage anxiety a lot. She's trying to calm herself down, but her hands are shaking. And then she's like looking at the stage, oh my god, I'm gonna go there at any moment. And then she's looking at the other dancers and comparing herself to them. They're much more happy, they're careless, but she cares a lot. She overthinks, she tries to breathe in and out. And then when the curtains are opened, we don't see her for a while, and then we see her and she's in her pose. She started dancing because she's professional like that. She can hide her anxiety as soon as the curtain opens. I was a theater kid before I was an art kid. Our teachers in the theater class told us to, when you get up to this stage, you are the character that you're playing. I think this applies for dance too. If you're on that stage, you're no longer the person you are in real life. You are the dancer, so you should be like the dancer. And the last frame, we are seeing it from a man's perspective, over the shoulder angle. Just keep the focus on the like male gaze, how men perceive the dancers. Like she had all those anxiety and everything, but what men see is just a beautiful body that dances for me, In real cinema, people are doing those storyboards to plan ahead, and this is just like 1 minute, 2 minutes of a film. And now we are seeing 3D because I had 3D class in my art school. We were making 3D sculptures with clays, and I added some of my projects in there. We started with the leaf, with the hand. We used our own hands. We used face models as our first training in this 3D clay project. And then we moved on to animals. And I really like octopus. I think this is a really cool looking animal, so I wanted to do that as my clay. So I added the making process of this and the finished project. This is also a suggested thing in portfolios, like don't show your finished work only, show your preparations, show your sketches, and thumbnails, because they want to see the backstage too. They just don't want to see the final polished work. I would add much more behind the scenes thing if I had enough place to put them. And with my 3D works, I showed them that I know more than 2D, I know more than just drawing and painting. So this proved them that I can learn Blender and those kinds of like digital 3D faster. Sculpting a 3D thing improves your eye in 2D also. Here you're seeing some drawings that are done much more quickly. All of the figures that you're seeing here is done in a minute. There is this website called Line of Action. I use this website a lot when I want to warm up my hand before starting actual drawings. And if I want to, like, you know, practice gestures, practice animals, portraits, hands, feet, there's everything in that website. It improves you a lot. I think you should use it as a practice if you want to be able to make quick gestures. And it is important for animation because you should be able to show an action, like a pose, with just a few lines and in a few time, so they will know that you're also able to make like simplified characters, poses fastly without not diving too deep into anatomy, because anatomy drawings and gesture sketches are just like two different types of skills to improve. My first 1 minute gestures looked nothing like that, but then I practiced. I did this like every single day, and they started to look like this. You can understand that figure, you can imagine the actual photo when you see my 1 minute sketches. This is an important thing. And here we have a sketchbook sheet. It is so important to add your portfolio, your sketches, because they are like your playground as an artist. You can do so many big drawings, big paintings, but at the end of the day, you open your sketchbook and you sketch, and this is generally what most define you as an artist. Generally the things that you want to improve, the things you like to draw. And I try to have an age variety in here, as you can see in the sheets below. I have little kids and then I have old people, because we are tend to draw teens and young adults in general, because that is what we can find the most references of and the most like conventionally attractive. So Pinterest is filled with young adults, but it is important to know how to draw a baby, how to draw a toddler or child, and it is also important to know how to draw an old person, like their wrinkles and the kids like cheeks. And in animation you will draw and design a variety of age in your characters, a variety of race in your characters. Draw everyone you see. And here the hand and feet page is definitely for practice. And you can see like there's a bear that is wearing a birthday hat and with a cake in front of him, and it says it's my birthday because it was my birthday. I was at school and I was bored and I just made a sketch honoring my birthday with this bear. Like, this is so random. This is random shit, okay? And I love doing random shit on my sketchbook. That is the full purpose of a sketchbook, besides doing your practices. Those shows the reason that you're doing art, so they are important, and juries love to see that. And then below you can see beautiful women, which I also love to draw. They don't have eyeballs for some reason, because I thought it looked edgy and cool, you know? Others are like the heads of mannequins. It was a cool reference I found on Pinterest and I did it with colored pencils. I love it. I love it. And finally, last but not least, this project is the project that I show kind of my visual storytelling, kind of my conceptual illustration side. You're not just flexing your knowledge in anatomy and light and shadow and perspective and those things. You should also be flexing your ability to tell something within an image. You should show that I think, and I turn this into an illustration, I turn this into a drawing, because I think, therefore I am. And in here you may say like, this is just a handful of objects, like what does it mean? And that is when it comes to our little paragraph thing called like woman grip, female grip is improved amongst women. This is our ability to carry multiple objects in one hand, because we don't have pockets to put them, so we improved like our hands. A man is not able to hold this many objects as much as a regular woman. I'm not saying they cannot do that. I'm just saying we are doing this more easily because we are used to doing this in our everyday lives. So I just grabbed a bunch of objects. I wanted to show like my skill in doing hand drawings and also like object drawings, and also telling a little message, telling a little story. And the nicest part about this one is that jury give me the best compliment ever with this drawing. She laughed and she said, we were like reviewing this, I laughed because this is so relatable to me. She said that my artwork that I did so women can relate to is relatable to her. She said like I'm complaining about this every day, like my pockets are so small. I have to hold everything with my hand and you did a drawing about it. This is like so cool. And I said thank you. And that's what you are aiming for as an artist in general. Like with the movies they make, with the books they write, all artists thinks about making people feel like understood, making people feel seen and heard, you know? Like this is a really small thing in life, but she related with it. I was really happy for it. I'm gonna brag about this my entire life, though. We came to the last page. As I said, something strong in the first and last. This is something strong to me. This is Aphrodite in acrylics, and I really like this one. I cropped it out of the canvas it was from, just so it can look like, you know, a sticker kind of way. And then I added all those texts that I had in the beginning so they can relearn my name and relearn the program I'm applying to and my contact info. And this is the end. This is the end of this portfolio and this video. And I want to have like just a little chat with you about this channel's future because this is my first YouTube video. I'm aiming for being known and having a niche, you know, community in YouTube globally so that I can help out those like young artists, art students, or people that wants to go abroad to study art like me. My flight to France is at August 18th. So after that date, you will see multiple videos about like studying abroad in France, you know, little vlogs of me as an ESMA student. So we can do a little dorm room tour, we can do like, you know, my trips in France and the other countries that I can visit because now I will be finally having my visa. So much honest facts about studying abroad, living abroad, being alone, being an art student, being an animation student. It will be like the channel's future. But before August 18th, my videos will be mostly like about every good, bad, and ugly parts about being interested in art, and you know, tips I can give to you, tips you can give to me. We will have chats, and the other weeks we will have another interesting topics to talk about. We will talk about the movies, the books, the video games that I consumed. So this will be a channel about all that. And thank you so much for watching. I hope this was beneficial for you, and I hope you will be able to go through your dream school, whatever the reason it is that made you watch this video. I hope you will achieve your goal, and I believe you will make an amazing portfolio, and I will allow for you to share your opinions or your drawings with me. We can talk about them, we can chat about that. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comments. And yeah, that's everything from me. See you next week. Bye.